Welcome to another very fancy cooking video. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very quick backpacking snack, roasted soybeans. And again, when I started this channel, I didn't want to put stuff on this channel that you can find at a million other places. And this is actually one of those things that there's probably 1,000 videos out there on YouTube on how to make roasted soybeans. What makes this different is that you are probably not looking at those cooking channels if you're a hiker backpacker. The other thing that makes this different is that it's wicked simple. There's no fancy ingredients, there's no measuring things out. Buy some soybeans and an hour later you have some roasted soybeans that you can take. The reason why I made this snack originally is because when I put my original meal plans onto Chronometer, and I was looking at nutrition, which I never really did until a couple of years ago. I realized that it's kind of hard to get some protein in there, and so I was looking for a source, and this is a nice, easy protein source. I'll let you do the research on soybeans. For those of you that are going to leave a comment in the video about how you shouldn't have too many because of estrogen, please go back and double check that research. There's a lot of false statements out there on the internet about that. So here we go. First off, all you have to do is buy some soybeans. Ta-da! And you soak them overnight. So I put these in about 9 o'clock last night, and 9 o'clock in the morning they are ready to go. There are a couple of different soybeans that you'll see when you go into the store, and I don't even know, I actually go right to an Asian market. There's a couple around me, and so whenever I kind of have a trip going through one of those towns and cities, I stop by. I buy them in bulk. So this is actually a 10-pound bag, and it is actually labeled non-GMO, which I would question, but I did very little research into the brand and into the company that owns them. It's actually a Korean company that produces these, and I'm willing to believe they're non-GMO. I normally find when you go to the store that you kind of find two sizes. You find 10 pounds or you find 1 pound. And the 1 pound package is I don't know, it goes for about $2.50 around here where you are in the store. Once you go up to 10 pounds, it runs about $2 a pound. So we get this large one. So you soak them overnight, and watch how easy this is. You pour them into a colander. If this was not on a video, I would let it sit there for a couple of minutes and make sure that every little drop of water drains out. But since I don't want you to sit and watch that, and I do not want to do any editing, next I pour them into a solid bowl. Now, here's where the magic happens. If you look online for different recipes, if you are a cook, if you like to follow recipes and add all sorts of ingredients, don't do what I'm doing. Go follow some other recipe. But I was looking for a very simple way to do this. So all I do is I add hot sauce. That's it. I don't measure it. I just put on about that much. And then all I do is mix it with my hands. And I kind of got it down so when I do it, that there's nothing puddling at the bottom. If you do put too much on and it puddles on the bottom, just throw it back into your colander. Otherwise, that's all I do. Mix it up, and then it goes right onto a tray. And I'm not too picky. As long as it's pretty much a single layer, you're good to go. All right, so I don't know if you can see that. So now I'm going to pop it in the oven. I cook them at 325 on convection. Otherwise, if you don't have a convection oven, you can just cook it at 350. Let me just rinse off my hands so I don't forget and rub my eye. 1 second, I'll be back. All right. Now what I do is I'll set the timer for 22 minutes and 22 seconds. Why? Because it's easier than going 2, 0, 0, 0, 0. I just go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I do that 3 times. At the end of 22 minutes, I take the pan out and I just scrape a spatula underneath it, mix them up, put them in for another 22 minutes, spatula, another 2 minutes, 22 minutes, spatula. Normally they're done after about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. And the way that I tell that they're ready to almost be done is at first you're gonna have a lot of steam coming out of the oven, and then the steam will kind of disappear. So that's my first sign. The other sign is when you take them out and shake them, they just simply sound like hardened, peanuts, hardened beans on the tray rather than big wet things. And the last thing is they'll just start smelling like they're just about to start to burn. You can kind of smell it. And that's my last signal. All right, I think that was enough time. Let's check on them. All right, and here is what they look like when they're all done after an hour. What I'll normally do is I'll just take out a few and I'll leave them on the counter, or I'll leave them on my hand and just blow on them until they're totally cool, and then I'll try them. They should crunch. Now, if you're gonna do long-term storage, you want them to have less moisture. In this house, as soon as I make them, my wife eats them all, so I'm not so concerned about making them that dry. They can have a little tiny softness in them because I know they'll be gone in a week or so. So after this, for storage, what I do is I have a big jar and I put a funnel at the top. Notice I've cut the bottom off the funnel, and I'm not going to force you to watch the rest of that, but I'll store them in a big old pickle jar or something like that. And again, I don't know about long-term storage because the longest any have ever lasted in my house is probably a week to 2 weeks. So hopefully with this video making an extra batch, they'll last a little bit longer. So that's it. Roasted soybeans, great trail snack, one single ingredient, which is the hot sauce. You can pick your hot sauce, or you can go online and look at other spices and stuff to add to it. Wicked nutritious, great protein for the trail. That's it. Make your own food for the trail. Give it a shot. Thanks.